Welcome to the face behind the brand.
All love. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me. How are you?
Thank you for joining. So welcome to
Oh
the
man,
face behind the brand. I had to bring you in, of course.
I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be here. How are things in Cali?
Absolutely. So I am your host. I am Monique Marie, and you are Brandon Hicks.
That is
So this
correct.
amazing song I'm bringing you in on, your son, Carter Hicks, is featured on this song. This is from the album Man of the Hour, Manifestations, Clizzy Houston. And
That's
so
right.
how does it feel to hear your son on this amazing single?
Listen, tears of joy. Tears of joy. Those affirmations are something that we do on a daily.
Absolutely.
And just to hear that, of course, memorialized on such a classic album,
Yes.
Clizzy Houston, Man of the Hour, Manifestations.
Manifestations.
No, I'm telling you, I'm elated. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful feeling. He even, of course, he enjoys hearing that as well. So
Yeah.
it's a great feeling.
Well, it's incredible, Brandon. And you you are, of course, from what I've discovered in this last month, you are a believer, which is, of course, the most prominent thing of all. You are in artist management for Clizzy Houston.
Indeed.
You're a consultant. You are the founder, CEO of 829 Group.
Yes,
And
indeed.
you are a very, very purpose-driven individual, and the father of two beautiful, handsome sons, Carter
Yes, ma'am.
and Carson.
That is correct. My proudest
So
accomplishments.
Carter and Carson. So where is Brandon Hicks from?
I'm originally from Enterprise, Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah, small city, about an hour and a half from Montgomery, Alabama. I'm certain people are familiar with Montgomery, but
Yes.
yeah, originally from Enterprise, Alabama.
Okay. So what brought you you're now in Atlanta, correct?
I am now here in Atlanta. Absolutely.
So talk to me about the transition to Atlanta from Alabama.
Oh man, well, what a transition. Well, of course, after university, I moved here corporately. So on a corporate level, I helped develop compliance programs for banks. So I was doing actually a little consulting on the financial aspect.
Wow.
But yeah, so I sort of had a steady progression north, right? So I was here in Atlanta for a while. I moved to Charlotte, was there for a little bit, left Charlotte, went to New York, was in New York for about 2 years, left New York, moved back down to DC, and left DC, and I finally came back here to Atlanta. I've been in Atlanta about 8 months now. So
Okay.
yeah, and work.
Yeah.
So to answer that question, I was a long way around, but work brings me back here.
Absolutely. So would you say that, of course, it's obviously a different culture? I mean, from Alabama to Atlanta?
Oh, absolutely. It's faster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely faster. It's definitely different. But of course, it's a black mecca for entertainment. I love the success. You see a lot of successful people that look like us here.
Artists. Yes. Yes.
So it's a beautiful place. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. Talk to me about managing Clizzy Houston. How did that come about?
Oh man, listen, I've known. I mean, what a journey! I've known Cliz for literally years. I met Cliz when I was 11 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. I met him in Alabama back when I was doing music myself. But I mean, no, he's always been a mentor, always been someone who I could go and talk to about anything. We've just been on this journey consistently together. And of course, for him to watch me grow and come into the man that I am today, it was just a conversation, and it was something that made sense. We've all sort of ventured and done our own things. But, as of course we continue to, progress, it was just a conversation that we had. It's like, hey, listen, let's make this happen. And the rest was history.
Well, I think it's incredible because you and I both know in this industry, of course, trust is a big deal.
Absolutely.
Having the right characters around you is a big deal. I was saying something earlier today, and I started praying this specific prayer of just saying, expose the snakes and reveal the greats.
That's right.
And I've been saying it a lot. It's like you have to know who these people are, because so many will try to, stair step or pretend to be, something that they're not. So
Absolutely.
let's talk about your inner peace, because I know you have a strong faith in God, and starting with your son and his affirmations,
Absolutely.
that says a lot. So talk to me about your inner peace.
What a question. Well, put simply, my inner peace comes from, as stated before, I am a believer.
Yes.
And I know that may sound vague, so allow me to clarify. I'm a believer of Jesus, in Jesus Christ, right?
Amen.
So my inner peace comes from just knowing that all things work together for the greater good of those who believe. No matter what my outer circumstances may reflect, I also know who is King, and I know that no matter what, it'll all work out. That's sort of been my experience. He's proven, time and time again that he's always there. So, yeah, I'm never too rattled. I'm never too rattled.
Yeah.
And
So not
that's
surprised. Not surprised with whatever you see.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, that's amazing, because and I always again revert back to where we are, right? We're in an industry that includes some very interesting characters, and I think that's a very nice way to put it.
That's right. That's right.
Very talented people, and we all know that, of course, that Satan was a musician as well. He was an angel,
Indeed.
but he fell down very hard, and but he comes from that background. He comes from this incredible, talented background. So
that's right.
How do you, being that you, of course, now are not just managing, he is your flagship artist, but you also consult other artists at times, correct?
Absolutely. And not just confined to consultation for artists, also consult businesses.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but yes, Clizzy Houston is, of course, my flagship artist.
Yes. And so you are able to, of course, you're able to discern, when, of course, you guys need to have those tough talks, I'm sure.
That's right.
And of course, by including God in your business, I can see very clearly, just by the presentation of his project, who you guys are. So that's definitely a compliment to your entire team.
Thank you.
Talk to me about 829 Group.
Oh, man. Thank you for asking. Well, 829 Group is, we're a strategy solutions company. It's actually an umbrella company that houses many other entities. We do consultation for businesses and develop, short-term and long-term strategies. And again, that's not confined to simply entertainment. It runs the gamut. So we deal in fashion. We deal, of course, in the film industry.
Amazing.
And of course, the music industry as well. So, yeah, we're extremely excited. We're extremely excited, but yeah, big things are coming.
Yeah. So tell me, because obviously you have to have the passion for music, obviously, just to be doing what you're doing. Who influenced you at such a young age?
Oh, man, it's a great question. Honestly, my mother. I was raised by my mother, single mother, and my mother always told me, Brandon, you could have anything that you want in this world. Just work hard for it. Go get it. She always taught me that, skies is not only the limit. It's not the limit. It's, the sky's just the view. So continue to push for it. And my belief is through the roof. So with that internal belief in myself, and of course, that foundational belief in Christ, nothing is impossible. And
Absolutely.
I carried that.
Yeah. You mentioned university. What university did you attend?
Troy U.
Okay.
Troy University. Shout out to my people from Troy.
Look at you. Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So you obviously have to have a background in business. We talked about that. You possess skills in communication.
Absolutely.
And to be able to, be philosophical and have a business acumen is all of these things and more that you need to be able to do what you're doing. And you're managing a person particularly. So tell me what goes into your day. What is the day in the life of a manager?
Oh, man, a day in the life. Well, first and foremost, you want to ensure that your client is taken care of. You want to ensure that you have the long-term goal that it is that they want to, of course, reach. And it is up to you to help develop that strategy, of course, alongside, your client, whether that be, musically, whether it be a business that you're consulting. Nevertheless, you want to ensure that the road to that ultimate success for them is paved clearly. And with measurable, actionable items that we can check off the list and say, you know what, we've gotten this done. We've gotten this done. So what's the next step? So that's pretty much a day in the life.
Yeah. So tell me more about the it factor. During our preliminary, you talked about something new that's coming, and I hope it's okay to talk about it a little bit.
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. It's okay to talk about. It's something, of course, that's developing. We're in pre-production. We, of course, have 3 seasons done. Okay. But the it factor, the irrefutable truth, is just I believe that there's a lot of misinformation out there, right? So the it factor was, of course, formed to combat or my attempt to combat some of that misinformation with foundational truth, right? So it's an attempt to get people to go beyond perception. So many of us have certain perspectives on things, and we're so rooted in our own perspectives, right? And whenever we're challenged with information that could shift that paradigm, it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? So it's a podcast and a brand that's meant to encourage transformative thinking.
I like that. Yeah. Thought-provoking thinking too.
Thought-provoking, right? Absolutely. It's just dialogue. We're here for dialogue. We want to, at the end of the day, we want to inspire, we want to encourage, we want to encourage people to change, their lives for the better, right? Not just change their lives, but change their lives for the better. Yeah. And it all starts with the mindset. It all starts with your mentality. And of course, your foundation. What is your foundation? And if you have a foundation rooted in the right things, if you're principled, I promise you, everything will work out.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it, Brandon, especially just going back to the basics of affirmations, right?
Absolutely.
I can remember even before relocating myself, I had basically, was a little nervous about it, and this, we're talking about probably almost 5 years ago, but it was just the whole point of knowing and believing that what I was doing was what I was supposed to be doing, and something I had proclaimed. I had already said, I'm moving. I am moving. I used to say, I am moving. I used to say it like alphabetically, like from A to Z, all the affirmations. And I just think it's so powerful to know who you are in advance, to be able to see where you're going before you get there.
Absolutely.
Is extremely crucial. And someone that I really look up to, an influencer, is Garyvee. I don't know if you've heard of Garyvee. Love it,
Absolutely.
Garyvee.
Love Garyvee.
Very, very knowledgeable, very, very educated. Also a lawyer, he was a mentor of Nipsey Hussle's, if you will. And something that I caught today, he talked about the 3 qualities of entrepreneurship. And I'll share with you some of the qualities he mentioned, but I want to ask you what you feel some of the additional qualities are.
Thank you. Okay.
Firefighter is one. So you definitely have to be, a firefighter. And I was just like, a firefighter. So I guess to be able to put out fires,
right.
With some crazy things. An innovator is another one that he talked about. And then, of course, the one, that you're definitely keen at is the communicator leader.
Right. That's right.
So communications leader. So what are some of those additional, you can elaborate on those, but add some additional qualities that you feel, of course, with this business and other businesses that are needed.
Absolutely. Thought-provoking question. I agree. I agree with those. Interesting perspective, from Garyvee.
Yes.
If I were to piggyback on those and sort of throw my 2 cents in, I would say that entrepreneurship or leadership, it all sort of coincides. You have to be a visionary.
Yes.
Right? You have to see the end result even prior to beginning. So I look at vision as an internal revelation of a future occurrence. So you have to see it so vividly. You have to see it so clear.
Yeah.
And once that vision is clear, the steps become easier, right, to take. It doesn't mean that the journey will be, Skittles and rainbows. It doesn't mean
Right.
that the journey will be easy,
Mm-hmm.
but it does make the journey more worthwhile. So
Mm-hmm.
again, if that vision is clear, it makes that journey more worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to, of course, agree with communication. You have to
Yeah.
be able to articulate your vision.
Yes.
So many people have aspirations or have certain things that they want to accomplish, right? And in putting the team around them, they're unable to articulate the vision. And if you're
Mm-hmm.
unable to communicate and articulate that vision, it's sort of hard to kind of get people to rally around you in order
Mm-hmm.
to realize that vision,
Yeah.
right? So I would definitely say communication is up there. And the
Mm-hmm.
third point that I would state is relentlessness.
Yes.
I would just say you have to be relentless. I mean, it is not going to be easy. You are going to bump your head. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
cry.
Yeah.
You're going to bleed.
Yeah.
You are going to, I mean, it's going to be tough. But again, having that foundational belief and those foundational principles in Christ,
Yes.
anything is possible, right? So
Absolutely.
that's my summary. Those three, it would be, have to be a visionary.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be an excellent communicator,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to be relentless.
Yes. I think that's enough.
Yeah.
Like me and my mom say, I was like, it is finished. That's it.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And I think, again, I think more of us have to really realize that, and that it's not just about the talent, because I meet so many people, especially now doing, what we're doing, networking. And I think I'll piggyback off of even Sanjeev's interview the other day when he said, of course, the relationships are the biggest part.
That's right.
It is not about how dope you are,
That's right.
how great you sound. It is the relationships,
That's right.
and if you are a shady character,
Mm.
that is going to be a huge problem,
Yeah.
And I think in any business, right? And
That's right.
friendships,
That's right.
relationships in general, like whatever you're doing. I mean, I know we don't have to like each other,
Mm.
but I definitely have to feel the vibe.
You have to feel the
what I'm
vibe.
saying?
Have to
Yeah.
feel the vibe. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So define Black excellence. What is Black excellence to you?
Black excellence. I see my brother highlighted on there. What's popping, bro?
What did he
I
just
love you,
say?
fam.
That's my
Yeah.
favorite word, relentless.
Relentless. Absolutely. That's my brother right there, man.
Yeah.
So define Black excellence.
Yes.
That I mean, I would even say just self-explanatory, right? That's what it is. Black excellence, opulence,
Yeah.
decadence.
Yes.
Tux is next to the press. Okay, that's Jay-Z. But no, Black excellence. I mean, it is. We're beautiful. We're beautiful people.
Yeah.
We are a purposeful people. We are a relentless people, and a resilient people. And that's. I mean, literally, that's what we are. You look in the mirror, look at yourself. Be proud of your skin. Be proud of the skin that you're in. Be proud of who you are.
Yeah.
Know that you are excellent. Know that you are built and created with a purpose. And yeah, I mean, look, there's nothing that we can't do.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Black excellence.
Absolutely. Well, you are raising 2 Black sons.
Absolutely.
To be Black men in this generation. So we are, of course, in the middle of our own pandemic. The presidents, of course, and the CDC and everybody else, they call it COVID. But our pandemic, as we know, we've been dealing with this racism for hundreds and hundreds of years. So what is it like, you as a father, raising Black men right now?
Wow. It's a great question. To be honest, it's an honor. It's my greatest accomplishment.
Oh, it's a blessing. And they're so beautiful. I mean, I know they're boys, they're men, but they are some beautiful men.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I had to take a breath. I had to take a break real quick. I get emotional thinking about my babies, but
they're your babies.
No, it's tough.
Yeah.
You see so much going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So but again, it's the light of my life. It's the, again, my greatest accomplishment, my greatest achievement. But I wouldn't trade it for anything. and he's my oldest, Carter. He's so observant.
Yeah.
You know, so when you see, you know, George Floyd, you
Mm-hmm.
see the Breonna Taylors, you see
Yeah.
the Trayvon Martins, you see, you know, these things that are happening consistently. You know, he's inquisitive as well. And
Yeah.
my youngest is as well. You know,
Yeah.
age doesn't matter. They're very inquisitive. They're very aware.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to, of course, instill that foundation of Christ. You have to, of course, instill that that foundation to know that, hey, you know what, you do what you have to do. You make sure that you have that foundation that can't be shaken, right?
Mm-hmm.
And know
Mm-hmm.
that you're always protected. Know that you everything will, of course, continue to work out for you. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's my answer. That's a tough
Yeah.
one.
I know. You know,
Yeah.
I have to get in deep sometimes and dig,
No,
but
indeed, I appreciate it.
I can appreciate you know, the value, it's an invaluable conversation, right?
Right.
And going back into what you guys are doing when you talk about the irrefutable truth. I mean, I don't
Right.
want this to be just you know, questions, interview questions. I definitely want it to be real and personal. So I appreciate you sharing.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so as an artist manager, what would you say your management style is, Brandon?
Uh, that's a good one. My management style is um, I'm a go getter,
Yeah.
right? We, we
Mm-hmm.
we just have to go get it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Again, identify the goal, identify the end goal,
Yeah.
and ensure that we're doing the small steps every day to reach that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that would sort of summarize my style. Just let's go get it. You know,
Yeah.
we're limitless. You know, we don't have limitations to our belief. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever that end goal is, we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
How do we do that?
Yeah. Well, you seem
Right.
to be a leader by example. Definitely with as a father, as a, you know, a manager, part of your team, a motivator, which is obviously some incredible strengths. But what are some of your weaknesses?
It's a great question. uh, what are some of my weaknesses? Let me be honest here. um,
Take your time.
yeah, no, that's a really good question. I like that. It makes me think.
Yeah, because you know, sometimes we evaluate. I can go into it as an artist. We
Yeah.
evaluate ourselves so much, right?
Right. Right.
So, and at least I know myself, I critique myself a lot.
Right. Right.
And a big one for me is, I would have to say, you know, I don't give myself enough credit. A lot of times I really don't think I'm doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Wow.
So, and I know, and I heard that honestly today when I was praying, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, give yourself credit. Like, you've come a
Right. Right.
long
Right.
way. So
Right.
like, look back to where you were 5 years ago. And then
Mm.
look at where you are now. So it's like, yeah, I know where I want to go, but I'm like, look how far you've come.
Mm.
You know, so that's my big one, and that's something I'm working on, to really like stop and, for one, thank God, but like thank myself. Like, girl, like
Right.
you're listening to God, and you're listening, you know, to people around you. You know, my mom. You know what I'm saying? My aunts, my cousin. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's a big one for me. So.
Right. I got it. Well, you know, and honestly, to preface that, what I was going to say is sometimes I guess I could be a little impatient.
Oh,
Right.
okay. Yeah.
So, and I would consider that, you know, to be a weakness, if you will, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, you know, patience, well, not sometimes, all the time, patience
All the
is
time.
necessary, right? Patience is definitely necessary, even if you're going full throttle, but you want to make sure, of course, again, here we're going back to that vision. You want to make
Yeah.
sure that you understand
Mm-hmm.
where it is that you're going, and you don't want to rush the process. You want to do it, I wouldn't necessarily say perfectly, but you want to do it just good enough, right?
Yeah.
You want to ensure that you're solid, all your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would say that. So working on that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Want it when I want it, right?
Yeah, yeah. I see my cousin, the Joshua Tree Foundation. She said fatherhood is the most important job in the world.
I concur. I concur.
Yes.
Absolutely. Men, you know, take your proper place as men in your family's lives, in your children's lives, in the world and society. We have to take our proper place. We have to lead by example. We have
Yeah.
to be. Our little boys are watching. Our little girls are watching. The world
Yeah.
is watching.
The
So
world is watching.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Fatherhood is absolutely the most important job in the world.
And
That's right.
I see Son Chief stepped in the building.
My guy,
He said,
Son
go hard or go
Chief,
home.
go hard and go home. What's poppin', fam?
Shout
Yes,
out to Son
sir.
Chief. So you are the midpoint between your artists, so between Clizzy and everyone else, basically.
Mm-hmm.
How do you balance your personal life between this artist and, of course, who we're talking about, these incredible boys, these sons, these men that you're raising?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, I'm an avid reader.
Wow.
To be honest, I don't watch TV, right?
Mm.
I watch sports, and that's about it, right? But now my Lakers have just, clinched their 17th ring, so right.
Go Lakers.
But no, so in my spare time, I enjoy a good book. I enjoy reading. I enjoy learning. I enjoy personal development. So, to kind of balance the crazy, I guess, fast life, if you will, and the uncertainties of entrepreneurship. Again, go back to that internal piece. I love to pick up my Bible.
Wow.
Of course, and not only that, just information that is beneficial toward my development. I read, I watch, and I surround myself with people that align with where it is that I'm trying to go.
Yes.
So if it doesn't fit that, if anything is out of pocket, out of touch, if I don't rock with it, if the energy is not right, if I can't look at you and we have a relationship or a conversation or dialogue that's conducive to both of our, growth.
Yes.
I sort of disassociate myself with that, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Hopefully that answers it. So that's how I balance it. I pick up a good book, surround myself with good people, good energy.
I got a good one for you. I just started reading it today.
Talk to me.
I won't show it to you because it'll come out backwards. It's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. You know
I know it well. I know it well.
I just started reading it. Is it? Oh my God.
It's a great book. That book is really, really great. And it highlights the importance of communication.
Yeah.
Right. What we were speaking of.
Yeah.
So as you conclude that book, you will be a better communicator. I love that book.
I feel so humbled because it was just like, I kept looking at the book and it's like, this is the second time this has happened in my life, like with a book, like at the perfect time. The first time was I was leaving, and I'm from the optical industry. So I used to be a business development consultant for like almost 14 years.
Okay.
And actually they're down in Georgia for Exotica. That's what's crazy. Yeah, yeah. So I remember quitting and didn't have a job to go to. I just stopped. People were like, are you crazy? Like, who quits a job and doesn't have a job? And I'm like, I do. Because I do have a job. I am a brand.
That's right.
And I'm not going to be, oppressed by this corporation that believes that they're the biggest brand when I am one of the biggest brands.
You better speak.
So I quit the job, Brandon, and believe me, I was so scared, but I heard God, like not once, but like twice tell me like today's the day that you're going to let go. Wow. And my mom, she's the kind of person like, you're not going to be sad and crying around me. So she took me to a bookstore. And the first book I saw, it was by Joel Osteen.
Wow.
And it said, Now Is Your Time.
Wow.
Right? And so like, what are the odds? The book was supposed to be like, the book was $5 when I got to the register. So I'm thinking, buy the book for everybody, because it's like, this is like a gift. But when I brought the other books, they were like, no, those books are $25. Only your book is $5. And I'm like, why my book? And they said, well, the author picks 2 books out of the box to make promotional purposes for each store. Wow. So that was that book. And then today, this was the same thing.
How about it? Look at that. It's meant for you to read.
Yeah. And then to know that someone else, because no one else has told me about it. So now knowing that you've completed it, I'm really excited. I'm really excited about it.
It's an amazing.
So how does one know that they possess the skills to be a great manager?
Wow. Well, I'll tell you, if you're diligent, if you're an excellent communicator, negotiator, and if you just have a passion for seeing people win, right? I'm not concerned I mean, glory to God. I'm blessed. God has been tremendous in my life. But when you internalize that, and then of course you want to see other people, sharing those blessings as well, and you want to see other people realize their purpose and their passion. And if you really have a passion for that, you really have a passion for seeing other people win. It's not about you, right? If you have a passion for that, I believe that your managerial skills will be through the roof.
Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
and you're talking about, I mean, this industry, it's a life industry. It can definitely be a lifetime, commitment. It could be a lifetime, dream, an ordeal. I mean, because you're talking about, like you said, fashion. We talked about, obviously, the music, there can be film. There's so much, right?
That's right.
So what would you say the most rewarding part of managing or just being in the industry has been for you so far?
Honestly, the most rewarding is seeing the success of the client, seeing the success of the artist, seeing the success of the businesses, seeing goals being realized, and just seeing those smiles, and having a celebratory drink, with your team, whatever the case may be. Just the win at the end of the day, after a hard fought battle, at the end of the journey, that is the most rewarding. It's not the money. It's not the fame. It's none of that. All of that is that material stuff. It's not, listen, happiness, seeing your people win, looking to your left and to your right, having solid people around you. That is the reward.
Absolutely.
That's the reward. Everything that's meant to be with you on that journey, sticking beside you, right? And everything that's not meant to be, falling off. So
I like that.
Indeed.
I like that. And
Indeed.
Who was I listening to the other day that said that, like, it's not, the person is not above you. Like, people want to go higher, and they're looking at the person like somebody to bring them on. Can you get me on? Like, can you
That's
get
right.
me? Can you help me? And it's not the people that's up above. It's the people that's to the left and to the right of you.
To the left and to the right of you. That's a fact.
So that's crucial game. So talk to the aspiring artists that may be watching or is going to watch this, and they're driven right now and thinking that it's really all about, just like what we're talking about, literally signing on a dotted line and signing their name and signing. And I'm not against signing at all, but being signed, I think if it works and the dollars make sense, then I say, do it, But talk to the artist about the power of being independent in today's industry.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I literally was about to say, to summarize, own your business, right? Own your business. As an artist, you want to be very, very involved in every aspect. Big homie Clizzy always says, I never needed a manager until I was able to manage myself. Right? I'm telling you, shout out to Clizzy, man.
Shout out to Clizzy Houston.
Shout out to Clizzy. And those words echo so true. You have to be able to manage yourself, understand, have a clear vision of where you're going, and then be able to have that dialogue with somebody that you trust with that coveted position of management over your career, right? Over your business, over your endeavor, whatever the case may be. So the advice that I would give, learn the business. Learn the business. It's not about, again, signing on a dotted line. If you do, make sure that situation makes sense. Make sure that you're entering into a mutually beneficial situation, right? What I would say.
Okay, that's it. We're done. No. Who was that highlighted? Said Chiefs. Was that Chiefs highlighted when that said? I think that was Son Chiefs interview when we were talking about the left and the right of you. It's the people who
light it up.
Yeah, who are on the side. It's crazy because I've just been interviewed. I have so many quotes now. I have to write. I'm gonna write a book about all these interviews. It's just incredible.
Man, I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, because you guys are all worthy, right? I can't have people on here not, we're not talking about nothing.
That's right.
This is not going to work. So, talk to me about the importance as an artist, like how the artists are cultivating a direct relationship with their fans. So, like how Instagram and Facebook And, you know, even via email and Twitter has become really big over this last 5-10 years.
Yeah, no, that it's extremely important. Be
Mm-hmm.
personable. Nowadays, people, they really want to have access. They want to feel as if they're there on the journey with you.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be behind the scenes 24/7, if you
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
So I believe, of course, developing a direct relationship with your fans will actually, you know, catapult you, you know, beyond what your counterpart, if they're not actually, you know, doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, we can look at many examples. Look at Ryan Leslie, you know, with that particular campaign, where literally he made $2 million, you know, off of just, I believe, don't quote me on this, but 17,000 album sales. You asked how he did that, right? How he did that was, of course, developing a direct relationship with the consumer. So just knowing those little nuances, those little, you know, making those little adjustments, of course, within your career, I believe, of course, will definitely be beneficial for you in the long run as an artist.
Absolutely. Well, you talked about one of your weaknesses. So tell me, what would you say is the hardest part of being a manager in today's industry?
It's a great question. Well, transparency. The hardest part is I guess really continuing to deliver at a high level, like and solidify those situations, you know, that are beneficial for your client, right? But again, as my guy Chief said, relationships, you know, they are the currency. They're the new currency, the most important currency nowadays, right?
Absolutely.
So continuing to foster those relationships, that will, of course, you know, be beneficial for the team and mutually beneficial, right? So we're not selfish by any means. We don't want to get into any situation where we're the only ones benefiting.
Right.
We ensure that relationships that we enter into are mutually beneficial.
I
So
like that.
I would say that.
Because what you're talking about too, not just the relationship, you're talking about synergy.
Absolutely.
And I'm very big on energy, but I'm big on, you know, just the synergistic, you know, commodity. I think it's very important, you know, when you're creating and maintaining a relationship. So a lot of times you can build a relationship, but of course, if you're not maintaining those good relationships, then, you know, they don't really mean anything, right?
That's
It's
right.
just kind of like, you know, gone by the wayside. Now, don't get me wrong. I have burned a few bridges, and those bridges that were burned needed to be burned. You know,
No, that's a fact. That's
burned
a
them
fact.
down. So
That's a fact. That's
you're not gonna burn me down. You know,
I'm right with you. So it's necessary to burn some, right?
Some of them just is like, we can't. I'm not going to hell for nobody. Okay.
That's right.
So, talk to me about how, you know, creating and maintaining, and I think we kind of went into it, but just how crucial it is when you're talking about synergy and just the synergistic value of a team.
Yeah. No, that's a great question. You want to make sure that that everybody's aligned, right? You want to make sure that the energy is again, that the environment, the energy is conducive to growth, right? I'll tell you the truth. One of my pet peeves is stagnancy. Like I cannot stand stagnancy. Like, what are we doing? You know, if we're gonna converse, if we're on the phone, and my people know this. My people that are closest to me know. Don't call me for 10, 20 minutes to ramble about a whole bunch of nothing. All right, cool. You know, I love to hear from you. How you doing? Okay, cool. Like, what's going
Have
on?
a plan.
Like, where's this conversation going? What's the plan? What's the end goal? Right. Yeah. So, again, you want to make sure, of course, that everyone is aligned. Everybody understands their worth. Everybody, of course, knows that they are valuable, and that their contribution to the overall theme is very well appreciated. And yeah, we just got to, you know, keep rocking and rolling. We got to, you know, keep rocking and rolling.
Yeah. So I know, as far as one of your big, of course, you know, duties, I should say, as a manager, it's strategy and campaigning. And just making sure, of course, that the artist is understanding and in full compliance with identifying as a product, right? Like understanding that they are a product. Like you're not on the shelf, but you are a product. So
that's right.
Talk about intellectual property and just an artist understanding what they are in this business today.
Yeah, again, yeah, own your business,
Yes.
right? Know the nuances, know the ins and outs, the ups and downs. But no, you hit the nail on the head.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is a wide net, right? We're not solely confined to the music industry, but just in general.
Mm-hmm.
Understand that if you yourself are putting yourself out there, you are a brand.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're selling yourself or you're selling a product, and the communication aspect, honestly, is the most important aspect
Mm.
of selling anything.
Yes. Yes.
You can have a wonderful product, right? But
Mm-hmm.
if your communication regarding that product is subpar, like it's not necessarily gonna make the impact that it can.
Mm.
And somebody could have a very not so good product, but their communication be excellent.
Yes.
They'll run you out of the gym as
Yeah.
far as sales or impact is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So branding, communication, marketing is, I'm telling you, the value that is it's insurmountable. The valuable is insurmountable. You have to
Mm.
understand, you have to communicate how you can position yourself as a guide to help your client, your business, whatever the case may be, the business that you're consulting for,
Mm-hmm.
have to help them win.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
So if you could change one thing, and I'm sure there's going to be many things that you'll think of, but if you could
Oh
change
man.
one thing about the industry as it is today, what would it be?
I'll just go with the first thing that came to my mind. Transparency,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
I would just say that. We have a lot of situations where transparency is not not necessarily valued, right?
Mm-hmm.
That principle is not adhered to. So that's one thing that I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Give people their just due. Don't allow people to slave for years and years on end without seeing the fruits of their labor, right? So
Absolutely.
transparency in deals, transparency in how we negotiate, transparency in the actual deliverables, and the ins and outs and ups and downs of contracts,
Mm-hmm.
et cetera, et cetera. So transparency.
And, prior to pre-COVID, obviously there were concerts and just different things we were able to get out and enjoy,
Right.
other artists. What do you look for, like when you go to a concert and you're looking at obviously an artist that's not, that you don't know, obviously, because you know so many. But
Yeah.
I mean, when it's not, of course, Clizzy Houston performing, what do you look for when they're up there on the stage? What are you listening for?
Yeah, shameless plug here. What I look for is the it factor,
The
right?
it factor.
Shameless plug, shameless plug.
Yeah.
No, just someone who has it.
Yeah.
And you can tell if someone has it when they walk in a room,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So and honestly, that's how I deal in business in general.
Like that.
Whether it's an entrepreneur, soliciting, my consultation services, or an actor, actress, model, artist, whatever the case may be. If we're gonna sit down and have that initial conversation to decide how we're gonna, go forth,
Mm-hmm.
I want to ensure that you have that it factor, and
Yeah.
that's not something that it's easy to come by, but you'll
Mm-hmm.
recognize it when you see it.
Yeah.
And somebody again, it just has that energy, that
Mm-hmm.
presence.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that they themselves are relentless, and they
Yeah.
understand where it is that they want to go, and
Mm-hmm.
they realize that certain pieces are needed in order to help them get there. So those are some of the
Absolutely.
things that I look for.
And they won't let anything or anyone stop them from getting there.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Destination, location, right? Or final destination, I should say.
Indeed.
Well, I want to say to you, you are definitely a king. And I know a lot of just saying,
Wow.
I mean, so many people, we all say, all right, king, hey, queen, but it's truly important for us as people and us as Black people to realize what that is, as far
Wow.
as, we know who we pray to. He's the King of Kings,
That's right.
So
That's right.
you are a son of the king,
Absolutely.
and you're grown up. So you're a king, and you're
That's right.
raising kings. But
Indeed.
no, you are definitely the real deal. I want to give a shout out to, of course, your artist who made this happen with this
Absolutely.
connection, with this link, Clizzy Houston.
Clizzy Houston.
He has been very instrumental in orchestrating, I should say, you know, these interviews. I have asked, of course, just ask. You know, God said, ask and you shall receive.
And you shall receive.
And
Listen, master chess player. Shout out to Clizzy Houston.
shout out to Clizzy.
If you've not heard Manifestations,
Oh
Man
God.
of the Hour, Volume 1, everybody, please go to whatever streaming device, platform. And I'm not saying that because I'm directly associated with it. I promise you. If I didn't know this guy from Adam, and you literally hear the passion of Clizzy Houston, you hear his intellect, you hear his thought process, you see how he loves people. He's man, I'm telling you, I can go on and on. So even during this interview, you see, I told you that I literally, I get the opportunity. I'm blessed with the opportunity to hear his wisdom every day.
To be in
since
the
I was 11.
It's
you know
a
what I mean? It's a blessing. Shout out to the whole team. My brother Highlighter is on here.
Highlighter.
I love you, bro. Shout out to Son Cheebs. What's good, family? I see you. Shout out to the whole team, man.
The whole
45
team.
Secrets, Brick
Block
Wall.
Beats. Yeah.
My brother Jay Suave. So shout out to the entire team, man. Also, shout out to my extended family. Wear Brims. We're you know, I mean, we're extremely blessed. We're extremely blessed.
Well, I am very thankful and grateful. Like I said, it's been wonderful. It's incredible. And in closing, like I said, I would like to say to you, thank you very much for taking the time. You know, I know you are a busy man. But yeah, I would have to say yes. And I'm not just saying this either because we've been linked, but yes, I am a witness to Manifestations. Man of the Hour, Volume 1. I don't listen to just anybody's music, and I would have to say that album it's insane. It's incredible. The production, Son Cheebs, again, king. Okay, Block Beats, a king. It's just like these producers on here, the instruments, the artist, Lucci Fontaine, Highlighter,
Block,
Carter Hicks.
Carter Hicks, young Carter Hicks.
It's crazy. I just feel like, what's the other gentleman I was listening to? Life's Good. Is it Kennard?
That's right.
Oh my God. It's too much. It's too much to talk about. So I would say yes, please. Listen, download, stream. It's going to be an addiction for you. You will be falling asleep every night to the song. So thank you so much. Please stay in touch and take care and be safe, okay?
Thank you so much, Queen. I appreciate this.
Thank you, King. I'll talk to you soon.
Have a great one.
You too. Peace.